a quick introduction of who I am. My name is Anthony. I work here at Orange County Realtors. Been here now for almost 19 years. Started off in the MLS department. Guaranteed I'll speak to everybody regarding rules, regulations, violations, all that fun stuff. What I'm also involved with is our outreach program. Our outreach program is typically designed to go out to your offices to give you training on all your tools and products. Right now, we are still doing webinar trainings, both here at the board as well as at office trainings. I personally train not only on MLS, how to run searches, how to modify listings, create CMAs, all that fun stuff, but I also train on zip forms. I show agents how they can utilize their free member or CAR member benefit to be able to put together their transactions electronically, quickly and easily, how to digitally sign those documents, and of course, all the advanced tools that zip forms has to offer. And of course, the third thing that I love giving trainings on is your tech. How I love showing agents how they can utilize their mobile tablet devices to better their real estate career, along with all the other free benefits offered to you at the federal, state, and of course, local level. So with that said, today what we're going to do is we're going to go over a free member benefit today called RELA. Now, if you just happen to go to www.relahq.com, you're going to notice here that at RELA's website, it talks about creating a single property website for your properties. If you scroll right on down, you're going to notice here that the cost is about $24 a month to create at least one property website for one of your listings to allow you to have at least yourself and another listing agent to be marketed on the property. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, Tony, you just said that this was a free member benefit. And I just wanted to point out this section of the website to you because you're right. This is a free member benefit, but if you're not an Orange County Realtors member, Orange County or non-Orange County Realtor members have to pay at least $24 a month. Now, this is where we're going to go to a different website, www.rela, R-E-L-A, H as in Harry, Q as in quit.com/OCR. Now here you're going to notice that it looks very similar, except that it's got a nice little area for you to create your account here with Orange County Realtors. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, Tony, you just showed that there is going to be a cost behind this. Well, if we scroll right on down below, we're going to notice here that Orange County Realtor members get this for free, and you'll actually get more. As a matter of fact, with your free member benefit, this will allow you to have up to 3 active property websites at any given time at no cost to you. Whereas if you're a non-Orange County Realtor member, it's $24 a month to have just even one property or active property website. So right away, you're saving yourself some money. Now, by the way, you've also got, if you've got a lot of listings, like maybe, between 4 and 5, then it's going to cost you $49 a month for non-members, or $39 per month for the same, for the same number of websites. So you're saving yourself $10 on even 5 or more, or 5 websites. Or maybe you are just a real estate listing machine and you've got at least 20 to 25 properties per month, then maybe you're saving, $80, which is again a $10 savings or a $20 savings. But no matter what, today, what I want you all to do, whether you have a listing or not, please activate your free account. Go to www.RELA, H as in Harry, Q as in quit.com/OCR. From here, you're going to put in your name, your first name, your last name, your email address, what's associated with the MLS system. You're going to create a password, and then you're going to put in your user ID for the MLS. Once you do that, then you're going to click on create an account. Now, once you've activated your free account, then you can start creating websites for your listings. Now, I know when I say create a website, the first thing that's probably going through everybody's mind is, oh my gosh, Tony, creating a website is such a hassle. That's why I'm willing to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to somebody else to make a property website for me. And that could be fairly expensive. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this property website in 5 easy steps. As a matter of fact, if you just do the 5 easy steps, you can make the property website in less than 5 minutes. Now, there are some extra things here that RELA offers to our members through your free member benefit that no other property website or company would be able to give to you without additional costs and fees, like domain names and things like that. But we're going to elaborate that a little bit more. And again, it may sound complicated when you think of creating a property website, but today I'm going to show you how easy and quick and efficient it is to make a property website. Now, what we're going to do is that after we activate our free account, we can then at any time go to log in. Now, the scenario that we're going to do is that you get a listing, right? You get a listing, whether it's a for sale, for residential, commercial, business opportunity, or it's for lease, residential or commercial. Okay. No matter what, if you're the listing agent on a property, you can make a property specific website for you to capture leads and to promote. How we're going to do that is very simple. After we go to log in, step number 1, we're going to come over to the top left corner, or I'm sorry, top right corner. Oh, and by the way, are there any questions as we go through this? No questions? Okay, so to start, step 1, after we log in, we're going to move our mouse to the upper right-hand corner and click on where it says add property. Here, when I click on add a property, the system automatically asks me for the street address of the property or the address of the property. Now, this is one of the many reasons why you need to be the listing agent on the property, because when this property website is created, it's going to indicate that you are the listing agent on the home, whether it's for sale or for lease. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to very simply and quickly type in the property address. Yep. And then we're going to say add the property. So step number 1, we're going to add this new property. Now, right away, it's going to pull hopefully maybe some information from the web. So now step number 2, we're going to fill out the details of the property. Now, what we're going to do first and foremost here is we're going to have our property description. Now, some of you, when you create this, will actually automatically have a property description filled in. Why? Because if your listing is in the MLS and your listing goes out to the internet, first thing that RELA pulls is any property data that's found on the internet at the address. So it's going to have your property descriptions more than likely. Now, how many of you have ever listed a property in the MLS? And you can just give me a quick show of hands if you want, or just raise your hand. Now, if you've ever listed a property, good. I see 1, 2 people. All right. So if at any given time you've ever listed a property in the MLS, you know that when it comes to your property descriptions, number 1, you're limited to the amount of characters. The amount of characters was just recently increased from 1,500 characters up to 2,500 characters that you can write in your property descriptions. Now, unfortunately, per our MLS rules and regulations, the property description is not allowed to have any personal or non-property descriptive information in the property description. Okay. Now, this is your own personal website. So even if you were to pull in your listing, and here, we'll do this with a different property. Okay. So here, 6 Clearwater, Laguna Niguel, California, 92677. I'm going to say add this property. We're going to see here that the property description is pre-filled in. Okay. Now, again, like the MLS or with the MLS, we're not allowed to say certain things in our personal or in our property descriptions. Now, because this is our own personal property website, though, we can, however, say things that normally would not be allowed in the MLS, like give me a call for showings today, 949-586-68 extension 104, or email me if you have any questions at tony@ocrealtors.org. And by the way, you are not limited to how many characters your description of the property is. So you could go well beyond the 2,500 characters that the MLS limits you, and you can now be as descriptive as you need to be about the home or about the property. Now, over here to the right-hand side, what we're going to do, we're not going to care about the listing status. Okay, even though we can switch the status to sold in escrow, that it's coming soon, or we can put in its own status, pending, withdrawn, canceled, expired, what have you. If you're actively marketing the property, it's either going to be a coming soon, or the moment I go here to the top left corner and go from not published to published, that means that the property is active and actively being marketed. We're waiting for people. The property type. Here we can fill in the property type: single family, duplex, triplex, quadplex, condo, mobile home, multi-family, timeshare, townhome, miscellaneous, or other. Now, why is this a nice thing here? When we think of property websites, 9 times out of 10, a lot of people just think for sale or residential for sale. And a lot of people feel that, geez, I feel left out on the other properties that I represent as a listing agent. The beautiful thing about creating your own property website, here under the property type, I can now market any of the properties that I need to market for my listings. So as an example, if this was a residential lease property or a property that was up for lease, I could come down below, select other, and now I could type in residential lease. Or maybe, here we go, business opportunities. Just know that, or maybe it's a land lot. So the beautiful thing about this property type is that I can now make a property website for any and all my listings, regardless of their property types in the MLS. This is how I want to be able to market the property. And now with these other property types, I can now create the necessary public or property website to obtain leads from for my seller to hopefully sell the property. Here, the list price, put in the list price of the property, whether it's for lease or not. Just simply type in your number. Display price, you don't need to worry about that because your list price will be what the display price is. Here you can modify if you have to the year built, but usually the year built bedrooms and bathrooms are automatically pulled from tax records, which is public data. Here you can put in the square footage of the property, as well as the lot size. How many of the stories the property is, 1 story, 2 story, 6 stories. Okay. Is the garage attached or detached or none? And how many spaces altogether? Now back over here towards the left-hand side, underneath the property description, we have the amenities. Now under the amenities section, we are given a very small list of amenities to pick and choose from. To select an amenity, just simply click on the amenity that you see here in the list. But what happens if there's an amenity that does not appear here that you want promoted for the property? Now, by the way, putting the amenities on the home, like the features, is great because when someone Google searches for a property and they are typing in what they're looking for, these amenities are referenced in a Google search. So if you don't see something here, don't worry. Click in the box that says amenities and then type in what it is that the property has and then type or hit your tab key. So here what we can do is we're not limited to just selecting an amenity. We can now type in all the amenities that this property has to offer. Now, another cool thing that we can do here. Anybody here host open houses or have begun to host open houses for their listings? And again, you can raise your hand if you want. Probably 1 or 2 of you, right? Well, as you all know that you can input into the MLS an open house, right? You go into your listing, you go onto the open house section, and you can schedule the open house for your property. Well, guess what? Here on your website, under the details section, you can also indicate what dates and the times you're hosting your open house or your open houses, which will be displayed. So maybe we do have an open house, say on the 25th from 10 a.m. to, oh, I don't know, 6 p.m. Now, at this point, stage 2, we fill in the property details. After you fill in the property details, everything that you're putting in, whether it's your amenities, your open house dates, your property description, the bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, all that, save your information. Here at the top right corner, click save that data. So we've already done step 1, adding the property. Step 2, filling in the details. Number 3, the photo gallery, adding in photos. Here we need photos to be seen on this property website. Now, just out of curiosity, does anybody know how many photos a listing in the MLS is allowed to have? Anyone? And you can just write in the chat box what you think the answer is. And by the way, I can tell you the answer is more than 1. But do you know how many photos you can have up to? Loanne, Monique, Ying Yan? Hamid? Don't be shy. Let's see. Ning Yang says that she doesn't know. That's okay. Loanne, 50. Close. Close. The answer is 75. You're allowed up to 75 photos on a listing. Okay. Now, if you've ever had photos taken of a property, typically your photographer probably takes anywhere from 100 to 200 photos of the property, right? Which now requires you to pick and choose what photos are to be on your listing. Now, wait a minute. Out of 200 photos, and you can only use 75 of them, that means you've got 125 other photos that just aren't useful to you, right? Not to mention, you're also under a size limitation. The MLS does not allow for photos to be any larger than 6 megabytes. And sometimes your photographer has taken really high definition photos, really high graphic photos. So they're sending you high def and low def photos. And unfortunately, you can only use the low definition photos for the MLS. Well, here's an advantage of the photo gallery for your personal website. Number one, there is no photo limitation for your personal website or for your property website. So you can now upload all 200 of those photos for your property website. Not to mention, there is no size limitation. So you don't have to use just the 6 megabyte size photos. You can now use the 15 or 20 or 25 megabyte photos instead. Now, how we add the photos, very simply, hopefully we've got those photos on our computer. So if an agent or your photographer emails you a link to download the photos, download those photos onto your computer, put them in your folder, right? Maybe you label the folder photos for 123 Main Street as an example. Now, when you're going to create your property website, stage 3, we're going to upload those photos. Now, how we do that, we simply choose add files over here to the left-hand side of the screen. When we do that, we're now going to browse our computer for those files. And now what I can do, instead of clicking on one photo at a time, like I just did there, what I can instead do is I can now select those photos all at once. And let's add that one and that one. And now when I say open, now the system is now uploading those photos at the time. Now this may take, depending on how large the photo is, anywhere from a minute to maybe 5 minutes to do. But you're going to notice here that the photos are now going to be available in my image gallery. Okay. Given just a few seconds here, it's going to refresh the screen. And now it's uploading those 13 images, just like so. Now, if you've ever had to sort photos on your listing before in the MLS, now that can be a little challenging, okay, from time to time. And you would think, well, geez, is it going to be super challenging for me to do that here? Absolutely not. If I want that outside photo to be the very first photo in my photo list, simply move your mouse over top of the photo, click and hold with your mouse, drag it, move it, and then let go. Again, click and hold, drag and move it. So what we're going to do here at stage 3 or part 3, upload your photos. Part 4, your theme and contact. Now, themes and contact basically is the theme of the website, how the website looks. So right away, we get to see what the current theme is. And over here towards the right-hand side of the screen, or I should say over here to the left, current theme that's being used. Over here to the left, we get to see what that theme is. Now, what's cool about this is that this helps us preview that website. Now, if you don't like this theme, very simply click on Change Theme. Now, what's neat about this is that RELA gives you 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 different themes on how your website is to be laid out, or how you want your website to be laid out for this property. So here, if we were to select a theme, it refreshes the screen, and now we get to see what the preview is. Now you'll notice here in the preview that no matter what, there is a choice here that says, get in touch with me, their agent. Now, unlike these third-party websites out there, when it says get in touch with an agent, it usually sends that consumer to somebody else, right? Maybe of that company, or refers to another agent. Guess what? Because this is your personal website or your property website for your listing, if this says get in touch, guess who who receives this lead? You directly. You will get the person's name, you will get the person's email address, and of course you will get their phone number and any message that they want to send directly to you. RELA does not keep any of this information. RELA does not monitor any of this information. This is your property website for your listing. So you are getting the lead directly. Back over here to the left, underneath your theme, you can upload your company logo. Browse your computer for your company logo, upload it, have it as part of your personal or property website. You can upload it one time, set it, forget it. Down below, under contact information, you're going to choose edit your contact information. And from here, you're going to make sure that your profile picture is up to date. You're going to make sure that your name, your realtor designation, or that you're a realtor or real estate agent is mentioned. Put in your cell number, put in your email address, what company you're with, your DRE license number, because why? First point of contact requirements. Put in your own personal website. So if you have your own personal website, link that to your property website. So anybody finding the property website will actually come back to your personal website or contact you. Also, you can link your Facebook, your YouTube, your Twitter account, your LinkedIn account, your Vimeo account, Pinterest, Instagram, Zillow, or even Yelp. Put in all the necessary information that will need to appear on the property's website for you to be contacted at. So that's step 4. After you save this information, choosing your theme, uploading your logo, inputting your contact information for the very first time. Now, step 5, we can come up to the very top right corner or left corner, click on the down arrow that says not published, and then select publish property. Now, when we publish the property, under the domain name sections, because you got to go and share this information, you'll notice here that a domain name is pre-created. This is at no cost to you, no cost to maintain it or keep it. This is yours. It will always be the property address followed up with RELAHQ.com. Now I can take this web address and now I can put it on all my marketing materials to market this property. I could copy and paste this, put it on the private remarks section of the MLS. I can put it under the website section of the MLS for it to be referenced. I can copy and paste it in my social media if I want. Now, Loanne asked Tony, can I create something from this website for advertising or only use it for listings when I have one? I would definitely recommend creating, or this is really for creating websites for listings once you get a listing for the MLS. This is not really meant for you creating a personal website for yourself. You may want to reach out to a web designing company to create your own personal website. But one of the things that you can do is indicate your featured properties, and, you know, in that featured property, create your property website for people to go to and access. Does that help, Loanne? Awesome. All right. Now, those were big 5 things that you just needed to know how to do. And we did that in about 30 minutes. And again, when you do this in practice, it'll go even quicker. So now, what's all the extra bells and whistles and things like that that I can do to really make this property website cook? Let's see here. Back under the details, we kind of went over the open houses, scheduling your open house, which, by the way, when we look at that theme and contact here, you're going to notice here that when this gets posted, it indicates when I'm holding my open house. So it indicates here on this property website when the open house is, for the address, how many bedrooms, bathrooms. Of course, we got the overview. Now, we've also got a showing schedule. So here, what we can now do is either turn on or off to allow visitors, whether they're agents or consumers that go to this property website, to request from me a showing to the property. So what I can do, turn it on. So I'm going to use the standard calendar. From here, what we can do is add a new schedule and indicate when we are doing an open house, either in person or live stream, or maybe we have a pre-recorded video that we've done, like a 3D tour or a video of the property. But what I like about this is the live stream. We can say when we're hosting a live video Zoom style meeting from the property, or we're doing in person to meet people, open house, date, start time, end time. Okay. So we can do that. Right above that, allow visitors to request a tour date. Okay. Shows call to action that allows a site visitor to request a tour from your calendar. So basically you're sent a request to schedule an appointment to see this home. Turn that on. That way, when we look at that theme and contact, we're going to notice here on this property website that there will be a choice to schedule a tour or schedule a showing. Which again, that all comes to me. When I click on schedule a tour, it's going to require their first name, last name, email address. The phone number is optional, which hopefully they're going to reach out to us, because when they go, I'd like to go and see this home, we'll reach out to them and schedule that showing. Now that's the showing schedule. Now, the photo gallery, we're going to have a little fun with this. Number 1, I showed you how easy it was to rearrange the photos. Number 2, we can click onto this white box, which is underneath the photo. And write a description. But here is something even neat. We notice that when you go to the property website, we just see the outside of the home, right? Or that very first photo. But I now have to go down or go to the menu option to look at the photos of the property, right? Which is all well and good. There's nothing wrong with that. But what happens if I want to see more without having to go to any extra buttons? Back here at the photo gallery, what I can do is come over to the top left corner here, right above the photos, and go to where it says gallery options. From here, I can now make a virtual slideshow tour to appear on the property website. So when I click on that virtual tour, I'm going to now turn the status from on or off to enabled. I can select what photos are to appear on that slideshow. I can say, is it visible or is it hidden? I can anchor it either to the left or to the right so I can move the photo around, or I can make it zoom in and zoom out. Oh, and by the way, how long the photo sits there before it jumps to the next photo. Maybe in this case, I'm going to give them only 3 seconds to view the first photo, then the next, then the next. And then maybe we do the random pan and zoom. So now once I've done this, I'm going to hit save and close. Now I'm going to come back under theme and contact, and we're going to notice here how that virtual tour plays out. We see that the photo is now moving. It now jumps from the next photo to the next. So now in a way, we've got a video playing. So far, are there any questions? Looks pretty simple, right? All right, next thing that you can do. Maybe you've got the photographer, they've given you videos, or maybe you're creating your own videos, right? Underneath the photo gallery here to the left, we've got the videos and 3D tours. Now, you'll notice here that in the very first section here, we're at the video section where we can upload on unbranded video or a branded video, okay? Now to upload a video, just simply click on the plus sign. And now you can upload a link from, say, your YouTube channel or your Vimeo channel, or maybe you put the video together yourself and you've got the actual MP4 file. What you can now do is click on the upload video from your own computer, and now you can browse your computer for that video. And let me see here. Let me go back to desktop, find a video. And then we can open it up. So now we can either choose to access our YouTube channel or upload an actual video file. Now, like the photos, we are not limited to the size, and we are definitely not limited to the amount of videos we post. Now, this is where, if you've been through a social media class of mine, one of the things that I highly encourage agents to do for your video marketing is to do other videos that are beyond just a virtual video of a property, meaning that slideshow, the picture slideshow that everybody seems to have. In your video marketing, you should have a video that introduces you, who you are, what company you work for, this, that, and the other, and what you want people to do to contact you. Okay. Maybe you also have a video that's a market update report of the city that this listing happens to be in. You have all that on hopefully your YouTube channel. If you do, now you just simply choose add a YouTube or video link, and then just copy and paste that link to that video. So now what you're doing is that property website now gives even more than just a slideshow of the property. Now, Loanne asks, can I use one of the listings from my company / other agent at my company to post on this website? Well, what you could do, Loanne, is to practice this. You could do that, but remember here that when I post when I make this public, or this property website public, the website says listed by. If you're listed by, that means that you're the listing agent of that property. And if your name's not on the contract, regardless of the company that the property is under, If your name is not on that contract, technically, you're not representing the seller. And if you're not representing the seller, then you're misleading the public, along with a bunch of other MLS rules and violations. So I would say for practice purposes, you can try that out for one of your listings. But if you're going to try to publish this, don't do it, because you're going to get yourself not only into trouble with MLS, not only in trouble with your broker and the other agent within the brokerage, but you're also going to get in trouble with code of ethics. So that's something that you definitely don't want to lose your license over. Okay. Or get fired from your company. Awesome. But for practice purposes, sure, try it out. Okay. Now, what we can do here, come on. I don't want to upload any more videos here, but that's okay. Oh, there we go. Now, we can upload as many video tours as we wanted to here. And again, it doesn't have to be a tour of the property. It can also be your other videos that you are producing in your video marketing campaigns. Okay. The market updates, your intro video. Definitely, I would do an intro video. Sit in front of your camera for about 30 seconds and talk about who you are, and then post it to your YouTube channel. Now, some of you may go out of your way to get an extra 3D tour done. Depending on your photographer, this could be anywhere from an extra $50 to $200 or $300, depending on who the photographer is. Now, for those of you who have never seen a virtual 3D tour before, basically, it's a way to literally virtually walk through the home without necessarily being there. These are companies like Matterport and the 360 cameras that take the full 360-degree video shot of the property. For a 3D tour, again, you're not limited to how many you upload. So you can upload any and all that pertain to the home. So if you have 2 or 3 different ones for the same property, simply choose 3D tours, add the virtual tour, and then paste that link from your Matterport or from your YouTube channel. Now, when you say upload tour, the tour is here. Now, for those of you who have never seen what a 3D tour looks like, when we look at it here and we hit play, and let me see if I can expand this out. This is what the 3D tour looks like. It literally, if I have those goggles or those special glasses on my mobile device, I can now look and walk through all the rooms. Geez, what's in this room? I can now look around, walk in, see there's a nice bedroom, a desk, what the view is outside the window. I can turn around, walk down the halls, see the nice little dining room, walk around the room if I needed to, look at different angles of the room. Now, these tours have been around for at least 5 or 6 years. They have become really popular in the past 3 to 4, especially last year with COVID. What I love about these types of tours is that no longer does a buyer need to see, if there's a tour like this on listings, need to see 40, 50, 60 homes in a weekend. With tours like this, the client's already seen the property inside. They only now want to see those properties that they're really realistically wanting to make offers on. So now, instead of spending an entire weekend showing homes, we're spending maybe a couple of hours and only showing the top 5 or 6 properties to the person. Not only has this been super popular because of COVID and the limitations of sellers allowing strangers into their home, but this is also really good for people who are not in the state and they're maybe live in a different state or a different country. Because now what they can do is see what's in this house and get the layout of the home. So now when they reach out to you saying, hey, next weekend, I'm going to be there. I'd like to go see this house because I want to get the feel for the neighborhood. If you're listing a property, I would highly recommend asking your photographer if they do a tour like this. If they don't, then I would really highly recommend that you find somebody that does. Are there any questions so far? None? Okay. All right. Besides your videos, you can also add music to your website. Here under the music section, RELA gives you 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 different pieces of music that you can use at no cost to you. Simply click on the play button, listen to what the music sounds like. So now what you're doing let's see here. What you're now doing is you're picking the beat of the website. And what I mean by that is that you select a song. If you like it, just say add. And that's going to add the song to the website. So now when you go to preview the theme, you're going to hear it with the music. So it kind of gives a little entertainment. So while people are watching the videos or just scrolling and reading through things and they're looking at the photos and things like that, this now gives them a little bit of an entertainment value. And they can always silence it or play it again. Okay. Now, besides your music, you can also upload documents and PDF files of the floor plans. Now, if you have floor plans or PDF files of the floor plans, please make sure, based on copyright, that you have permission from the originator of that floor plan to use the floor plan in your marketing. If not, don't use it. But here, what's important about the documents area? Well, I can upload any PDF files I want to my property website. So let's think about this. We were just talking about just a few minutes ago that under the property details, I can now indicate the property type that my property website is, right? Like that lease. Well, guess what I can do here under the docs? I can upload my files for, say, an application to rent. So now when a visitor goes to my website, they can now see that there's an application of rent that they can now download or print and fill out and sign and submit to me to try to get this, to submit their application to lease the property. Or maybe there are other documents that need to be disclosed to the public about maybe purchasing the property. Like maybe there's, a checklist of vital things to be able to purchase this property that's maybe in probate or a trust sale or information about the auction or anything like that. So here under the docs and floor plans area, browse your computer system for the necessary documents to upload it and be a part of the property website that any consumer or even agent can go to and get access to. Now, obviously, I wouldn't put things there like people's social security numbers and things like that, but at least on the application to rent, they can download it, because what you're going to do in zip forms is at least have a property address and your name on the document for you to be able to save it as a PDF file. And then you can upload it here for somebody to go to, download it, print it, fill it out, and get it back to you. Now, next thing, we've got all this stuff going on. We still need to promote the property. Maybe today or this weekend, Loanne's got an open house for her property. What's one thing that Loanne wants to hand out besides the InfoSparks and Fast Stats? Anybody? What does she need to hand out at an open house? It's what? Flyers. Or maybe advertising material, because you want to promote it on social media or put it on your Instagram or whatever. Over here, now, how many of you actually make your own flyers? Anybody? And you can give me a quick show of hands. Anybody make their own flyers or brochures or marketing material? Nobody? Do you pay somebody? Like you pay your assistant, or you pay somebody at the office to make flyers for you? Anybody? And again, you can just raise your hand. It probably costs you some money to make a flyer, correct? Or you've got an open house, but it's going to take them 2.5 weeks to make a flyer for you, or print a postcard, or maybe you're spending on your EDM, your electronic distribution mailer, about $1,000 to $1,500 a month for them to make a postcard and then mail it out. But it's going to, you need some cost-effective ways of making those things. Well, here in RELA, under your property website, you've got a section called brochures. Under the brochures section, you can make, at no cost for you, flyers, brochures, social media posts that you can post on your Facebook, and or postcards. Now, even though it says flyers here, if I click on flyers, here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different templates that I can pick and choose from. Now, the cool thing about this is that these are all high-def PDF files. Some of them will be front and back, and it will indicate 2-page. So if you need to make an open house flyer for this weekend, even though you can make an open house flyer using RPR, Cloud CMA, or even you use PowerPoint or Keynote or any of those third-party tools, which now you have to design everything from scratch. Here, RELA and their marketing team has gone out and looked at all the necessary advertising to make this a modern feel for today's clients. All you need to do is simply select the flyer you want. Click on it. Click on the down arrow and say, use this design. When you do that, the design opens up. Now, maybe you want to move some pictures around or add in some extra things or change the font style. Well, guess what? Everything about this file is fully editable. Simply hover over top of the flyer, click on the magnifying glass icon. And now over here to the left, we can add in text boxes. We can grab the existing photos and change them around. Maybe we change the fonts. We want to bold it. We want to change the colors. We can change the line height, spacing, the font style itself to whatever we need. need it to be. Everything is fully customizable about this flyer. And again, all high def PDFs. Now, once I'm done with the flyer and I hit save, come on. And now I close. What I can now do is download the file onto my computer. If I download the file, guess what I can do? I can send it to my marketing team here at the office and say, if you don't mind, print me 50 copies for tomorrow's open house on hard cardstock or the glossy cardstock. Now, instead of waiting for that marketing team to make this same flyer or something similar, and them taking a week to 2 weeks to do this, I've now done it in less than what, 5 minutes? I've saved myself anywhere from $200 to $500 for the flyer creation. Here's the file, print it, get it to me. Or maybe I download it, put it on a flash drive, go to Kinko's, spend probably what, maybe $100 to make 50 copies on glossy cardstock, which is literally 5 minutes down the street. Now that's the flyer. Besides the flyer, we have the brochures. Now, how many of you have ever been to a multi-million-dollar property before? Maybe you were in Laguna Beach or Newport Beach or San Clemente, and there was those nice 4-page booklets sitting there on the counter about the property. Anybody ever see those? And you kind of go, geez, I really wish I could afford or pay for something like that. Well, guess what? Here are the brochures. REALA gives you 4 different styles of that 4-page layout. Again, like the flyers, everything's fully customizable. What I like about this, you've got one that's horizontal, or 2 horizontals and 2 verticals. I'm sorry, 2 horizontals, 2 verticals on how I want this book to be laid out. Simply select the template that you want to use. I know, isn't it great? You don't have to spend a lot of money. And here's the 4-page layout. What I can now do again is click on the magnifying glass, modify everything about that book or that page, maybe switch the pictures around, take one picture out, put another picture in, whatever I want. Now, again, I can download it, send it off to my printer, or go to Kinko's and get them to put together this 4-page booklet. No matter what, you're saving yourself hundreds, if not a couple of $1,000s of getting that high gloss printed booklet. Or I could order prints from REALA. Now, if I order prints from REALA, there is a cost here. Here, it usually takes them 2 business days to ship this out, but I can go with the standard gloss or the standard matte. And it shows here 25 copies of this entire book will only cost me $60 with free 2-day shipping. So I send it today. I should have it ready by Saturday or maybe Monday, 2 business days. Actually, I should have it by Monday, 2-day shipping. If I don't want to spend $60 at REALA because I need it now, I can go to Kinko's and probably spend maybe a few extra dollars. Or again, I send it to my printer here at the office who can hopefully print this out on the same type of card, on the glossy cardstock. Now, for those of you who are social media people, you got social media flyers. All of them geared to sit down and very easily post this property website that you can share on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of your social media platforms. Again, fully customizable. The last one here under the brochures, the postcards. Here they've given you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 2, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 different postcards, front and back. Tells you exactly the size of the postcard. Just listed, just sold postcards. So, Loanne, you just listed a property, put it together, the property website. After you put it all together and you publish it, come down to brochures, choose your postcards. Now select your postcard that you want to use. And when you do that, you've now got a front and back. And again, fully customizable, change the colors, right? But you'll notice here that there's a section for the addresses. Great for your EDMs, your electronic distribution mailing system, or EMDs, electronic mailing distributor. Email them the postcard, give them the list of addresses in that neighborhood that need to be aware of the property that was just listed in their neighborhood. And maybe send it out to a few people that you might think want to buy this home. And again, this is a front and back postcard. That's on, I think this one happened to be on 8.5 by, let's choose it again. 5.5 by 8.5 cardstock. But you also have your 6 by 11s. I think there's even an 8 by 11 here. Or there used to be. Oh, it looks like they took away the 8.5 by 11. They've got 5.5 by 8, 6 by 10s, or 6 by 11s, which are pretty chunky cards. All free for you to promote this property. And you'll notice that on the postcard, it will have the property website along with your name, your information, all pulled about the property website. Anybody like this? Whoops. Are there any questions on this so far? All right, ready for one last thing here. And where RELA really is going to help you get leads. And let me see here if I have that section. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Now with RELA. Oops. On your property website, RELA has a unique partnership with Facebook. Specifically, that partnership is with your Facebook targeted ads through your Facebook business page. So RELA helps you create amazing targeted ads, obviously for a certain fee, to be able to promote it, push it, to be able to obtain leads. Okay. Very easy. What you're going to do here is after you make the property website, it's published. What you're then going to do is make sure very first time that you link your Facebook business page to your RELA account. Just simply click on Get Started. From here, you're going to configure and create the ad if you want to, but it's going to ask me to link the two accounts. Now, this is where I'm going to play a nice little video for you guys, but I'm just not going to play the whole video throughout. I'm just going to stop and start at the major places in the video. Okay. Now, you may or may not be aware that Facebook is the largest, most popular social media platform out there with more than 2.1 billion people in the world that belong to Facebook. Okay. They are the largest entity out there of people that belong to them. All right. Now, if you were to convert Facebook into a country, it'd be the largest country in the world above China. China's got about 1.4, 1.5 billion people. Okay. They make up about a third of the world's population. Okay. Here, Facebook has more people that belong to it than to China. Okay. And that's worldwide. So if you don't have a Facebook business page, I would highly recommend that you create your own personal Facebook business page, have it linked to your personal Facebook account for you to be able to advertise your real estate career or your real estate business using that platform. Because really, to 2.1 billion people worldwide, that's a huge client base that you can talk to. Okay. Now with RELA, what we can do here, and I'm just going to turn off the sound. We're going to play the video a little bit. I'm going to expand it out. And what's really going to be cool about this is that after you create the property website, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the overview. You're going to click on Get Started. When you click on Get Started, a page is going to open up on generating the targeted ad. Now, if you've ever made a targeted ad on Facebook before, on average, it usually takes anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how detailed you want the ad to go. Okay. You have to create everything from scratch, pick out your demographics, how much the cost is, blah, 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 15 to 30 minutes. Now with the RELA for your property website, you can make that targeted ad and have it sent out to somebody or people in less than 5 minutes. Now, granted, we're going to take a little bit of time talking about some of your options here for you to make that ad in less than 5 minutes. So step one, to make the targeted ad, you say get started. Step two, we need to do some things. What do we want the ad to do? Number one, how long or when we want the ad to run. We have a start date. We have an end date. Okay. Now, here, budget. We can say how much money we want to spend. And when you think about a targeted ad or an advertisement, some people start to think, geez, I got to spend a lot of money to make a targeted ad or to make an ad, right? Maybe you're sitting in the newspaper or whatever. You don't need to do that. Nowadays, especially with Facebook advertising, the average cost of an ad on Facebook is less than $2 a click. Here, RELA will charge you to run a 2-week ad or at least a 1-week long ad about $9. Though it says $6 here, I know that currently their ad advertisement is about $9 per day. So you're spending $9 a day to obtain leads for whatever period of time. Now, what I would recommend, and they want you to spend at least $50. Here, what you could do is say, budget yourself for maybe $100. Make it a 2-week long ad, minimally 2 weeks. Now with your ad, what is the objective of the ad? Is it to generate leads or just to get or generate page views on the property website? In this case, you probably want to generate buyer leads or leads. Now, what kind of leads do you want? Do you want buyer leads? Do you want leads from other agents? Do you want to generate lender leads to advertise to lenders or possible investors? Now, my understanding is that RELA should have another one here for sellers. Typically, to sell this property or even to get other buyers for other properties that may be interested in this one, but other properties that are part of the MLS, generate buyer leads. Now, two things that should be no longer there because of the new Facebook advertising rules. You can't pick out gender for the ad to appear in front of, and you can't pick out age. The age is automatic 18 and older. Because of age discrimination, because of gender discrimination, Facebook advertising got rid of these two sections here. Now, where do you want the leads to be generated from? Here you've got a radius around the subject. You can make it 5 miles, 10 miles, 100 miles, 300 miles around the subject property. Now from here, you're going to come down below to the bottom right corner, click next. Now, when you click next, you're now going to get automatically in less than 2 minutes what the ad looks like. Now, like the brochures, everything about this ad is fully customizable. It's going to reference your Facebook business page. Hopefully you have your Facebook business page set up correctly. Now, if you've been through a Facebook business or Facebook class of mine or a social media class, I always recommend to agents when you create your Facebook business page, that business page should at least have some of your first point of contact requirements per the DRE. That is your full name and your license number, at least. What I usually tell agents for your Facebook business page name should be your name, comma, realtor, space, number sign, and then what your number is, your DRE license number. Then the top of the ad or the body of the ad should at least begin with the company's official full name. Realty One Group, Jack and Jill Real Estate, ABC Real Estate, whatever. That way you've got the immediate identifiers for all first point of contact data. You've already got it on the website, but you're also going to have it as part of the Facebook advertising ad or post. Now, comes to the photos. Again, everything's fully customizable. You can edit all the text. You can add in extra images or edit the current image. You can even upload a video to be part of the ad. You'll notice here that as part of the ad that you cannot change is the property website. That will always be referenced, and the Learn More button. Now, what's cool about this is the following, or after you modify any and all this, then what's going to happen after you modify everything here that you choose, switching out the photos, adding in video, things like that. Then again, you're going to come down below to the bottom right corner and click next. Now from here, you're about ready to publish the ad. And let me pull this back just a little bit. There we go. So now after you hit next, you're going to now get a screen that looks something like this. Number one, what the ad looks like. From here, back over to the left, what the ad's attempted to do, how much money you're spending over the course of the time of when the ad's going to be run. What's the objective of the ad is to generate buyer leads. The purchase of the property is all based around the list price of the property based on what's on the website. This, that, and the other, 50-mile radius, 100-mile radius, 400-mile radius. Now all you need to do is click on the green button that says publish my ad. Now, when the ad gets published, if you've ever been in Facebook, you're going to notice the ad in the middle of the news feed. That's going to be the difference between a boosted post and a targeted ad. A targeted ad will always appear in people's news feeds. Here they can click on like the page, which will then redirect them to your Facebook business page for them to like, which you'll notify and maybe they'll be encouraged to invite the person to be a friend on your personal page, building business connections. Here, they can read a little bit about the ad. If there's a video in it, they can click on it or move their mouse over top of the video and the video will play. More importantly, at this point, what they can do is comment on the ad. Hey, this home looks great, which you'll now be notified, or they like the ad, or they reshare it. But more importantly, if they want to know more about this property and they click on Learn More, Facebook immediately comes up with their information from Facebook to verify that it is them. So what does this mean? Means that Facebook is already verifying this leads information. You have to have your current name. You got to have an email address or a viable email address whenever you have a Facebook page. And of course, you've got to have a phone number to verify the email address for your personal page. So right away, Facebook is automatically vetting this person's information to be correct. Now, when they hit submit, Within 5 minutes, you are notified about the lead. Now, how are you notified? You're notified in 2 steps. Number 1, email. I am sent an email that says someone responded or inquired about my Facebook ad. Number 2, if I get push notifications sent to my phone, and if you've never seen what a push notification looks like, anytime you turn on your phone, notifications appear on the opening screen to let you know what's been happening on the internet for you, whether it was a text message or a Facebook post or anything like that. Make sure that those notifications are turned on. Now, knowing that somebody responded to my ad or wants to learn more about information from this ad, what I am now going to do is I'm going to go back into my RELA account. I'm going to select the property, look at the details or the overview of the property, scroll down to the bottom of the information. Okay. And I'm going to see this. I'm going to see immediately the ad's performance, if the ad is still currently running or if it ended. Now, this is really cool. I get to see that out of that $100, I've only spent $54.99 of my $100. I get to see how many people have seen the ad. I also get to see how many people actually clicked on the ad. And out of those clicks, how many actual leads I got from the ad. To which, not only am I emailed about the lead, but down below are the lead's information. And when I go down below there and I select a lead, I'll get to see their phone number and their email address. If I click on their email address, my email is going to open up and I can email them directly, or even better yet, I can call that phone number and talk to the lead directly. And what I can do is take these leads and export them into a CSV file to import them into my CRM. Now, I will tell you this works. You may go, well, geez, Tony, does it really work? It can't be that simple. The answer to that is yes, it's that simple. And yes, it does work. I'm going to give you a perfect example. About 3 years ago, I was giving this training at Laguna Woods Properties there in Laguna Woods. Okay. They specialize in senior citizen or senior communities there in Laguna Woods. And that particular office is the minimum, or I think the youngest person in that office was about 55. The oldest was 85. Now, during this class, I had a gentleman by the name of Warren come up to me. Warren is about 75 years old now. And he said these exact words to me: Tony, it cannot be that simple. I've done other things to try to do Facebook targeted ads, and I have to spend anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes trying to make the ad, and I don't ever seem to get the leads that I need to get. And it always seems to go to somewhere else before it comes to me. Does this really work? And I said, okay, after class, why don't you and I sit down and see how long it actually takes you to make the ad? Because he had already done the property website. He just never did the targeted ad. So what Warren did was he sat down and in less than 5 minutes made the ad. He ran it for 2 whole weeks. He only wanted to spend $100. The moment he hit published ad, he goes, wow, that was really easy. He goes, I can't believe I'm already out of here ready for my next appointment. I said, that's awesome. And I said, next month when I come back out to your office, can you let me know, maybe even before then, in the next couple of weeks, just tell me what you experienced with this, because I'm really curious to see if this really does work. Well, instead of 2 weeks, 3 weeks goes by. It's a day before I'm supposed to go to his office to give training. And lo and behold, Warren gives me a call. And now Warren, really nice guy, is laughing on the phone. And he goes, Tony, I'm so sorry. I forgot to call you because I noticed that you were coming back out to our office tomorrow. And it dawned on me, I forgot to call you about the ad. And I said, oh yeah, how did that go? He goes, Tony, I can't believe this. He goes, I went onto the website. He goes, this is what happened. I ran that 2-week ad. I spent $100 and here is what I got. And he was reading it to me from the website. On that $100, for his property in Laguna Woods that was listed at, I think at the time, $475 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. He had 1,900 impressions. Out of his 1,900 impressions, he had 95 people click on the ad. Out of those 95 people, 13 people gave him his information. He got 13 leads. Now I was like, oh, wow, that's so great, Warren. Did you convert any of those leads? Now, this is where he got dead silent. He goes, you know what, Tony, you're going to be really mad at me. He goes, I have yet to call any of these leads. He goes, as a matter of fact, I forgot I even made the ad. And I said, Warren, you're killing me, man. I go, this is what you need to do. Come tomorrow when I'm at your office. I go, the moment you and I hang up, I want you to call all 13 of those people today. By the way, 2 of those 13 saw his ad from New York. Now, out of those 13 leads, call them. Now, obviously, it's been a whole week since you ran this. So, if you convert one, that's great. If you don't convert any, that's fine too. But at least let's share that with your office mates. He goes, okay, Tony, I promise I'll give you, I'll give them a call right now on these leads, and I'll let you know whether it's negative or positive, what actually happens. I said, that's great, Warren, please do. So now, tomorrow comes in, I'm there giving training on Cloud CMA. And I said, even before we start, anybody remember our RELA class from last month? A couple of hands raised. I asked, does anybody create a property website for their listing? Obviously, Warren and 2 other people raised their hand out of a room full of 30 people. And I said, Warren, that's right. You created the targeted ad, correct? He goes, yes, Tony, I did. I go, Warren, tell the audience what you experienced. So we told him the numbers of impressions, the clicks, and the leads. And a lot of people were like, wow, you only spent $100 and you got 13 leads? And I said, yes. And I go, Warren, did you call those leads right away when you found out about them? And of course, obviously, he said no. And a lot of people laughed about that, right? Even the broker was like, see what happens when you don't follow up. And I go, Warren, did you call any of those leads yesterday? He goes, Tony, I sure did. And of course, he starts getting this big old smile on his face. And I said, Warren, what happened? Did you at least convert one? He goes, Tony, out of those 13 leads that I called yesterday, I converted 6 leads, 2 of which just happen to be coming out next week from New York, because they're looking to move from New York to California because it's way too cold in New York here in February, and they want warmer climate. I said, wow, you converted 6 leads out of your 13. He goes, I sure did. I said, if you don't mind, I would love to follow up with you and find out what happened with all of those leads. Month goes by, next class. I said, hey, Warren, how'd those leads go? He goes, Tony, within a week, I sold that home to one of those 6 leads. I got another and got the other 5 or other 4 leads into escrow within a week as well on other properties. And I'm working with the 6th lead on trying to find them another property in Palm Desert. He goes, so far, I've doubled my business in this 1 3-week or this 1 month time frame than I have a full year. So this does work. If you could get away with just spending $100 to get at least 2 or 3 leads, would that commission more than pay for itself? Probably. Now, at the end of the day, gang, once you're done with that property and that property is no longer active, what you could then do is take that property from published, because you don't want to delete it. But what you want to do is take that property from published to non-published. What that will then do is free up another spot for you to make another property website. Now, this is really good for any time you do a listing presentation, because now what you can do in your listing presentation is, number one, show them or show any future sellers or listers what you do for them. And any of the property websites that you're creating that you're doing the Facebook lead generations on or the targeted ads for, you can show how good that property website is in generating leads. Now, all of a sudden, you're showing worth and customer service to get paid your 5, 10, 20% commissions. Are there any questions on this? And like I said, that's the only really thing you have to pay for is the targeted ads. The only thing I would want you to encourage you to do is simply go back to RELA.com or RELAHQ.com/OCR's website. So that's www.RELAHQ.com/OCR. And I want you guys to activate your free account. Okay. When you activate your free account, then play around and try out, creating a property website. Maybe you do it on your own home where you live. You don't have to publish it, but at least you can play around with some of the tools. And maybe if you were thinking about going on a listing appointment, you could show a potential client or potential lister what it is that you're willing to do to get that property listed and sold quickly and easily. So I would highly recommend that you do that. Activate it, try it out, and add it to your tool belt of services to justify why you should get paid what you get paid. Clients are going to see this and be super excited about what you do. Now, if there are no other questions, I want to thank everybody for attending today. If you do have any questions or need any special help, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. My phone number is 949-586-6800. My extension is 104. Or feel free to email me at Tony, Tony, @ocrealtors.org. Well, with that said, I want to thank everybody for attending today. Again, everybody attending today will get a copy of today's webinar. And I wish you all the best and listing those homes and, of course, creating and marketing these property websites to sell the home fast, or even faster than what you're already selling the homes. You're welcome, Ning Yang. So I hope you all have a great and wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later.